moving to Glendale, Arizona, but before you make that move or make any decisions, you really want to know the good, the bad, and the ugly of what it's actually like living in Glendale. Well, that is exactly what we're going to be covering in this video. We're going to go through, talk about all the pros, the cons, everything in between, and tell you guys what you need to know about living in Glendale, Arizona. And this is not one of those videos where we sugarcoat the cons or like it secretly like turns out to be a pro. Like, nope, there's parts of that suck about living in Glendale, Arizona, and you need to know about this. So we are going to be real and honest, and we are going to go ahead and just jump right in. So let's do this. If this is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything there is to know about living in Phoenix, Arizona, or the amazing cities around it like Glendale, then go ahead and subscribe, tap that bell for notifications so you can be the first to know about what is happening in the Phoenix market and all the areas around it. My name is Samantha and my team and I help people every single day just like you make their move to beautiful Phoenix, Arizona and all the surrounding areas like Glendale, and we absolutely love it. So if you are thinking of making a move out here, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, hop on a Zoom call with us. We are here and happy to help, and whether you're moving in 9 days or 9 months, we would love to help you make a smooth move out here to Phoenix. If you even just have questions or want more information, just reach out. We are here. Like I said, we just want to help, connect, and answer any questions that you got. If you want more information about Phoenix, if you want to see what it's like day-to-day living here, if you want some cool freebies, check out the description, and all the ways to connect with us and all those freebies are going to be in the description below. Like I said, in this video, we are going to be covering the pros and cons about living in Glendale, Arizona. There are some amazing parts about living in Glendale. Case in point, Westgate right here, one of the best parts, everything you could possibly want. Brunch, Sunday fun day. They've got the arena right here if you like sports. There's a lot to do and see, but there's also definitely drawbacks and cons to living in Glendale. So we've got a whole list for you guys of all the pros and cons. It is kind of windy and my allergies are kicking like crazy, so we're gonna head back to the office, go over this list of pros and cons so you guys can know the good, the bad, and the ugly of living in Glendale, Arizona. So let's go check it out. Okay, so we're just gonna go ahead and jump right into this list of pros and cons for Glendale. Like I said, I don't like to sugarcoat it. If you're going to be moving to Glendale or any other city, I think it's really important to actually know what you're getting into and what the genuine pros and cons of living in a certain area are, and you want the full truth. So let's go ahead and jump into this list. The first pro about living in Glendale is that there is so much to do. You've got the Westgate Entertainment District, and that just literally has like every kind of like shopping, dining, food, entertainment, movie theaters. You have the sports complexes over there as well. You've got the State Farm Stadium. You've got the Gila River Arena. Try saying that 3 times fast. So whether you are into football or hockey, you've got those sporting events right there. Like I said, all the dining, shopping, they've got little parks and all this open area. So there's just a whole lot to do over there, as well as kind of the different movie theaters and all those fun events. They've got an escape room. I think those are so fun. I'm not sure where you guys are on escape rooms, but I have a lot of fun with those. So there's just a lot to do kind of just all right there in the Westgate Entertainment District. You also have the Peoria Sport Complex, which is just right up the road. So there's just always a lot to do, especially in that particular area of Glendale, which is just off the highway. But in all different parts of Glendale, there are a lot of different opportunities and things to do. You've also got kind of the old town, or like old historic downtown Glendale, and that is really fun. They'll do all these different events for holidays. They'll do farmers markets and all that different stuff. So it's kind of cool going. They have tours of all the old gardens and buildings and stuff down in Glendale. So if that is something you're interested in, you've got that as well. So the best part is just no matter where you are in Glendale, there's always going to be a lot of fun, different activities to do. The second pro, which is I think one of the best, is that your money goes a lot farther in Glendale. Places like Gilbert or Scottsdale are going to be really expensive when it comes to cost of living and housing and stuff like that. In Glendale, you're going to have still beautiful homes, a lot of space, but your money is going to go a lot farther. Housing and cost of living are a lot cheaper. Restaurants, things to do, it's a lot more affordable here in Glendale. So just having your money go farther is definitely a pro of being in the Glendale area. So cost of living in Glendale is actually 3% lower than the Arizona state average and 7% lower than the national average. So like I said, your money definitely goes farther here in Glendale. Another pro is the private and charter schools in Glendale. Not as much public schools, we'll get to that later on in the cons, but the private and charter schools in Glendale are incredible and really top-notch. So if really good school systems is something that is important to you, that can definitely be a pro for living in Glendale. But there's also multiple colleges and universities here in Glendale as well. You've got the Thunderbird Global School of Management, Glendale Community College, and Midwestern University. So those are all here locally in Glendale as well. Another pro about Glendale, and this is kind of common for most of the Phoenix metro cities and kind of areas all around it, is that it's really convenient. You're not really far outside of town. You're never more than 5 or 10 minutes away from everything that you need for everyday life, whether it's grocery stores, coffee, gas stations, shopping, all of that is going to be really close. Now, depending on where you are in Glendale, it used to be kind of farming and agriculture land. There are still, hints of that here and there. You're going to see some open fields and homes that kind of, if you get to the outskirts of Glendale, it's going to feel a little bit more remote, a little outside of the city. But for the most part, all the homes are right there locally in the middle of Glendale with everything that you could possibly want, just a few minutes away with a drive, not walking. That's 5 or 10 minutes away driving, not walking. Another amazing pro, and again, this is like common with a lot of the Phoenix metro cities because it's all pretty close together, is the weather. There is a disclaimer with this. The weather is amazing in the late fall, winter, and then early spring. As soon as you get to May it starts to warm up, but June to September, we're going to talk about that later. Woof, it's awful. But the fall, winter, and early spring months are absolutely beautiful. It's sunny. It's anywhere from 60s to 80s. People are always outside enjoying the weather and stuff like that. Like I said, with everything that you have going on, Westgate is a big open door center. So as you're walking from shops and restaurants and stuff, it's all outside. You get to enjoy the amazing weather and stuff like that. So just getting to go outside, all the hiking, the biking, the trails and everything that Glendale has to offer, that is really a huge plus, and getting to enjoy it for most of the year because the weather is awesome for the majority of the year. And the last pro is that it is just very family friendly. It is not kind of hustle and bustle, like it's not super busy like Old Town or downtown Phoenix or even Tempe and stuff like that, but it's just very residential and family friendly. There are definitely kind of hubs and everything, like I said, Westgate or any of the sports complexes where it can get a little busy, but for the most part, it is really laid back and just kind of that more relaxed lifestyle, which is really nice. It's not going to be super loud. It feels really peaceful and calm. And so just kind of that residential, family-friendly community vibe is something that you really get when you live in Glendale. All right, now for the part you've all been waiting for, the cons. So we're just going to go ahead and jump right into the cons. The first is the weather in summer. It sucks. Like the majority of the year, the weather is great. But like I said, June to September is brutal. Like it's 115 degrees easily. You walk outside and it feels like you're walking into an oven. Like you'll hear people joking about, baking eggs on, like they'll crack an egg and bake it on the street, or putting those cookie sheets with like the cookie dough on your car and letting it bake. That's not a joke. I did that several times as a kid. It's very real. It's awful. Like the heat here is no joke. So that's just something to be aware of, especially if you're not used to that type of incredibly dry and hot climate. Just try to stay inside. If you're going to go out and do any hiking, biking, outdoor activities, do it early in the day before 10 a.m. because after 10 a.m. in that June through September, it's just going to be way too hot. So for those few months, we all stay inside. We stay in the AC. If we go outside, it's because we're going to a pool or something like that, so we can stay cool. So that's just something to be aware of. It's definitely a bummer, and it's pretty brutal for those 4 months. Another con, this may not be a con for some people, but it definitely is for others, is that a lot of the neighborhoods are kind of cookie cutter. Glendale really didn't start growing until somewhat recently, especially in the 80s and 90s is when it had, even the 70s a little bit, is when it started having kind of that boom of a lot of people starting to live there, and it moved away from agriculture and farming and started becoming more of a residential area. And so because of that, you're going to see a lot of kind of these cookie cutter neighborhoods where, they've got the HOAs, but all the houses look the same. It's a lot of stucco, a lot of tile, a lot of desert landscaping and stuff like that. So for some people, they really don't like that look. And so that is something that is very prevalent within the Glendale area. So if you're not a fan of those cookie cutter homes, there are a few neighborhoods here and there where it's going to be a little bit more green. The homes will look really kind of more unique and almost have a similar look and feel to parts of California and stuff like that. So if that's something you're looking for, there are a few places here and there in Glendale, but the majority of Glendale kind of has more of those cookie cutter homes. So that is something to be aware of if you're not a fan of it. Another drawback is going to be traffic. And this is specifically if you live kind of in those busy areas. Like I said, there's the Westgate Entertainment District and all the sports complexes and stuff like that, which is great for entertainment. But if you live somewhat close to those, you're going to have to deal with all the traffic that comes with it, especially when, all the different sports are in season and stuff. You're going to have like lines all up and down the highway, the side streets. People are going to be randomly like parking in places they shouldn't. If you live close, you might have people randomly parking in your neighborhood or in front of your house. So that's just kind of something to be aware of when you have those kind of main hubs of entertainment. The traffic that can come along with it can kind of be a bummer. And another thing to be aware of when it comes to traffic is if you are commuting. So if you are living in Glendale, but you're working outside of it, say you're working in, Scottsdale or even Phoenix, you're gonna have to commute. And the main way to do that is using the highways. Now, the highways have been built really well and they allow pretty good traffic flow for the most part, but during rush hour, it sucks. I'm not gonna lie. It can be a lot of stop and go traffic, and so that can take a little bit longer. So just to be aware of kind of where you're gonna be working versus living. So if you are thinking of moving to Glendale, if you're gonna be working outside of it, just go ahead and pull up the Google map and just kind of Google it to get a good idea of how far it's gonna be. Or you could even use the Waze app to kind of map out and see different traffic patterns at different times of day, so you can get an idea of how much you're actually gonna have to be commuting. Another con in keeping with traffic and driving and all that fun stuff is the public transportation sucks in Glendale. Unless you are living in kind of hot spots of the Phoenix metro area like downtown Phoenix, Tempe, or Old Town Scottsdale, a lot of the cities here are just not walkable. They are really big, they're really spread out. And so especially if you are gonna be in Glendale, Glendale is one of those places that it is really spread out. So most people will need to have a car. There's always a lot of Lyft and Uber if you want that as an option, but the public transportation just is not good. There's a bus system and that's it. There is no subway, there's no light rail over here in Glendale, so it's just the bus system. So if you are planning on needing to, commute or get around, just plan on having a car because the public transportation is it's not that good. Another con is going to be that there is not a ton of nightlife over in Glendale. So you've got the sports complexes, you've got Westgate and stuff like that, but things are going to shut down a little bit earlier. If you're looking for a place to go out and grab drinks or go dancing at 2 a.m., Glendale is not going to be the place for you. So when it comes to kind of that more nightlife or even just the high-end dining with kind of the award-winning restaurants and stuff like that, most of that is going to be over in the Tempe, downtown Phoenix, and Scottsdale areas. So you absolutely can't just drive over to those, but it is going to be a bit of a drive, so that's just kind of something to be aware of if those things are really interesting you, if that is a type of lifestyle that you're going to want a whole lot. Glendale might not be kind of what the place that you're looking for. Another con is going to be the public schools. So we talked about the private and charter schools that are really great, but some of the public schools are not the best in Glendale, if we're going to be honest. Some of them are B-rated. So if you are looking for schools, if school ratings and school systems are important to you, then just be aware that some of the public schools in Glendale are going to be B-rated, so that's just something to kind of keep in mind. Another con is going to be all the critters. This is just going to be kind of anywhere around the Phoenix metro area, like a lot of these different ones, but critters are going to be something that you deal with. Like I said, Glendale used to be a lot of farmland and agriculture and stuff like that. It has built up a lot since then, but there are still critters here and there, things that are being really common to the desert. So things like occasionally scorpions, termites. The saying here in Arizona is if you don't have termites, you're gonna get them. So it's not a big deal here. Nobody here freaks out about termites. Our homes are kind of, built and prepared for it, and we have pest control services that treat termites and provide you a multi-year warranty and stuff like that. So here, termites are kind of like, whatever for us, because we're used to it. But that is something to be aware of if you're not used to termites. It's okay. We know how to handle it, so don't freak out. And then also scorpions. Some people are really not a fan of scorpions, but we do have a lot of pest control companies that actually come. They'll seal your house so you don't have to deal with scorpions. Occasionally snakes. It is very rare that you see them. Usually if you're out on the hiking trails and stuff like that in the mountains, you might see them. So just give them their space. Don't try to play with them or be their friends or anything like that. So there are going to be a couple of those desert critters here and there, and that's something just to kind of keep in the back of your mind and be aware of. Oh, also spiders occasionally. Not like crazy gross ones, occasionally black widow spiders. Usually it's just kind of harmless little brown spiders and stuff like that, but if you just don't like looking at them, they are here and there in Glendale as well. All right, last but not least, our final con is going to be that it is just growing really quickly. This is kind of like I keep saying, very similar with all the rest of the Phoenix metro area, but Glendale is just starting to boom with growth and people wanting to come and move here. A huge draw is that it is very affordable. The cost of living is lower. The cost of housing is lower than a lot of the different areas around it, different cities in that similar area. But that is starting to go away just because there is a limited number of houses and so many people are wanting to live here in the Glendale area. Now there is still a lot of land that developers are using, so if new build is something that you're interested in, there are still some new build opportunities here in the Glendale area, here and there, but they're pretty few and far between. And then when it just comes to housing in general, it's a very, very competitive market. So We're not seeing a whole lot of new homes being built, and there is a huge demand to live here in Glendale. So if you are thinking of moving to Glendale, if you have questions, make sure that you're getting connected with an awesome agent and team who are going to be able to help you out, answer all your questions, and really give you the best chance possible at getting into the place that you want to here in Glendale. So if you don't have an awesome agent yet, or you need one, let me and my team know. We'd be happy to help. We would love to connect with you, answer your questions, help you figure out if Glendale is the right fit for you, or if it's not, to help you find out kind of where in the other Phoenix areas might be a good fit for you. If you do want to see just kind of a high level vlog tour of all the different areas and stuff in Phoenix, you can go ahead and check out our Phoenix vlog tour. We literally check out every single neighborhood, suburb, city, and stuff all around Phoenix, so you can get an idea of what is going to be the right fit for you. Feel free to check that out. If you want any other free resources and tools, check out the description box. We've got links to free guides throughout all the different Phoenix areas, so you can kind of find what you're looking for, a relocation guide, a list of all the things you'll need on Amazon to kind of help make your move smooth. If you want to connect with us on other social platforms just to get an idea of what daily living here in Arizona is like, go ahead and connect with us. We would love to hear from you. So hope this answered all your questions. Hope this was helpful, and until next time, we'll see you soon.